Can Jonathan, if he
Yes.
is like the same as how he was, can he be watching MMA and doing like push-ups and workouts and like practice fighting? I don't know how similar he was to.
He's probably watching out, but not can't get into his practice just yet. He just was brought back from the dead today. So,
That's true.
He's watching
Maybe.
MMA and hugging a pillow, probably.
yeah. So yeah, Jericho lets you in. As you guys come in, Jonathan turns to look at the two of you who enter, and you guys see this young boy, as they're described him earlier, and he just kind of like stares at you for a couple of seconds.
Hey,
Um,
how's it going, buddy?
Jonathan looks over at you, Gray, and says, "I remember you."
Oh shit. Crap. Cool. From where?
Is this the action figure?
No, it's the kid.
But yes.
But oh, yes. You
You
remember me?
break things.
Oh, you're talking about the laws of the world, huh? Oh yeah.
Yes.
I am a breaker of reality. Guilty.
Kind of nods.
I smile and kind of tip my hat if I'm wearing my hat.
What kind of hat are you?
It would just be like like a fedora.
Or whatever you just took from a person's house.
Right.
And
Large
he looks
sombrero.
A large sombrero.
like
I tip my
very
large sombrero.
droops around you. Cloak. So large. And Jonathan looks over at you, Amanda, and says, "I remember you too. From the dark places."
No? Is that so?
Jericho kind of goes over and says, he's doing well."
Oh yeah, the blue jacket.
Hmm.
I got this got played out the other night. Like, oh, yeah.
Herb, you pretty much finished cooking. You hear the sounds of your guests in the living room.
Call. I hope you're hungry.
Yeah, well, we've got about a handful of months of not eating to work down here, so.
Oh, good. I'll say as I bring the. Let me count them.
No, I'm not trying to pull them, but still.
8 entrees to the table.
Oh, Herb, what is all this?
It is a feast.
I'd see that. For how many more are coming?
Oh, nobody.
Jeez.
I expect you all to eat.
Well,
a lot.
I'm gonna. Have you
Make your
seen?
stomachs larger if you need.
Have you seen the size of me? I'm
I
like,
can make you larger.
no, thank you. All right. So,
Man, we could have used knowing you a couple of weeks ago.
yeah.
You were hungrier then?
No, we just needed to cook something.
And then like we'll tell that like the story of how we did
You
that.
needed to cook something.
Yeah. I will anyway. Like I'll tell the story of that. At as a dinner time story.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Jonathan, he doesn't seem surprised about any of this. How does he react to these stories?
He just kind of like listens.
And we had to cook a meal that they deem worthy enough to let all their slaves go, or else we had to stay there forever. I was like, done, no problem, handled. And you know what? We did it. Got them all out. winner.
Yeah, I wonder how they
Yeah.
What?
Amazing.
Yeah,
Would anybody
winner.
like more protein shake?
No, I'm going to die if I have any more food in me.
Oh, it's a drink. It's a drink.
It is protein is not a drink.
Protein shakes.
It's like the foodiest liquid you can get.
Yep. Besides like curdled milk.
Oh, I don't have curdled milk, but I have normal milk. With extra protein. You have to order it online.
Oh.
On the line.
On the line.
On the
Yeah.
line, yeah. Hey Jericho,
What?
I don't know. What's up? You want to talk about stuff?
No.
No.
Well, actually, I want to talk about you.
Well, that's what I thought.
Where are you from?
Not here.
And he says that like it's an accusation more than a question.
Yep. And I say
Kinda like-
not here.
Rest my hand on his arm and be like, be nice.
You see him kind of like pause and like contort his face like and says, "Where are you from?"
Better. Good job.
A version of Santa Fe, 3 Widdershins from here.
Different timeline.
So you met me from another timeline.
Yes. And the
And why are you here?
Because we needed to save our timeline by escaping it.
Doesn't that mean you just abandoned it?
We took the
Yeah.
thing that was killing it with us.
Oh, but we destroyed that. It's not gonna ruin this timeline.
Right.
In case you were wondering.
Well, I don't really care about that, I guess. But that's interesting.
Yeah.
The reason we know you is we needed your counsel to deal with the thing, and you were the only one in Santa Fe who had the knowledge.
He kind of like thinks about that for a second. It's like, Okay, so you were dealing with some kind of psychoactive threat, which you have destroyed, and that's why you don't need to read your mind.
Yes.
I see.
Please do not contemplate this subject further.
Yes. It's a terrible entity that
Shut up.
yep.
Yes, alright. Well, I have dealt with things like that in the past. It's best not to think about it. However, it is an awfully suspiciously convenient excuse for me to not vet you appropriately. Just gonna put that on the table. I feel like my trust of you has not increased, but I will tolerate your presence because Herb seems to like you or trust you more than I do. Just know that I am watching.
This is acceptable.
And he kind of turns to Herb and says, "How was that?"
It was good.
I think it was fantastic, but if you want to try again, we can.
No. Not
That's-
necessary.
That's literally not even hard.
I don't care what you think.
Okay.
Guess whose social stats are tertiary?
Yep. Hey, Jericho,
What?
what do you know about I don't know, souls and things?
It's it to you.
Well, I have a friend that's in need of one.
Okay, well, I don't have one on
Ah,
hand to give,
okay.
and I wouldn't give it to you even if I did.
Right. Is there a way to acquire them without murder?
I don't.
Are there things out there that
Find one that someone who collects them stores.
Know anyone of that nature?
Oh, there are left-handed practices that deal with the soul stealers. They're called reapers, I think. They consume the souls of others to gain eternal life and power and all that crap.
Oh, jeez, what a way to do it.
Yes, well, so they tend to have some extra souls around, I imagine.
Okay, Reapers.
There's easier ways to get eternal life. Jeez.
I know, right?
Yes. It's a little bit much, but those kinds of people are, well, they're the type who've been totally drawn in by their obsessions.
How is Jonathan reacting to this conversation?
He's just listening quietly.
As a kid,
They're not around.
He's
here,
eating.
right?
I haven't met any around here recently. I haven't really met any much. There was one time when I was younger that I think briefly met with one.
Okay.
It was back when I believe Elagos killed him. The council leader, Albuquerque. Albuquerque Concilium. Back when we were both younger.
So we'd be able to protect from them. All right, Jonathan, don't worry.
Jonathan just says, "What does a soul do?"
I don't know. Guess I'll kind of look around to see if anyone has an answer ready for that.
Oh, sorry. What was the what?
That's what a soul does.
I don't fucking know. Isn't it some sort of anchor to keep it all together?
Jericho says, "I like to think of it as kind of glue that you stick everything into.
Yeah.
Helps it keep things together." Yes.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's just.
Yeah. It's your connection to the universe at large.
He just like stares blankly at each of you in turn, and then kind of nods. Everybody has souls.
Pretty much. I think.
What happens if you don't have a soul?
Well, in most cases, that's it.
You turn into an emotionless husk.
Well,
and
that's
nobody hears that, right?
well, no.
Yet. I mean, I don't mean that is likely to happen. I'm just saying that it could happen at some point. You know.
Well done, Jericho. Would
This
you?
is why he's not good with kids.
Hey, old man gloom and stuff.
What?
What?
No, not you. Well, I guess you too. Do you want anybody want a round of how to deal with a kid? I can make this better.
I think we're
You
doing
try.
fine.
I don't think you are, but
I'd give you like a C, D minus around there.
Like, oh, Jonathan's been to the underworld and back. He can talk about some souls and soul reapers and all that.
I'm not talking about that.
I mean, you're the only one who said the F word.
She has a point.
She does. Sorry.
If you do rewind it, you're still gonna have to eat just as much. You know that, right? Otherwise, I'll be offended.
I was gonna do nothing of the sort, unless I wanted to taste it all again.
Jericho suddenly like stops, and you see his eyes like drift slightly to the side, and he's like, "Someone's here."
Ooh. All right.
Hold up. Not your son's car, Herb.
Sam will cast a spell.
I'll actually ask Amadine. Should we go unseen?
Sam's casting a spell right now.
Okay. We should almost have a signal for that by now. Like, it's invisible time.
Yeah. It's just words and signs, so I gotta click some buttons here.
I'll go to the door.
As you kind of like get up and move like halfway to the door, Jericho's like, fudge, it's Typhon.
It's what?
Typhon.
Who's that? Have I met Typhon?
You do not know Typhon.
Okay.
Do I know
Herb,
Typhon?
You do know who Typhon is. Typhon is the Cabal leader of the Sanguine Fellowship.
Vampires?
What
No, they're mages.
Oh.
What are they known for?
So why don't you give me a let's see. Intelligence and it would probably be like socialize or something. A skill that you don't have. So intelligence -1. Roll to see how much you know about
What about resources? Can I add that?
resources.
And merit?
No, resources is like money.
Oh. Would my adamantine arrow status help?
You definitely know who this person is. This just is a measure of like how much you know about.
Or sorry, concilium status is the one that I meant to say.
Yeah, you probably don't associate with him, which is why I'm
Okay.
careful.
Yeah.
Just 2 dice.
No successes.
Oh, nice.
So you know that
Those class cards are pretty fun.
you know that Typhon is the leader of the Sanguine Fellowship. They're one of the more well, they're the biggest cabal in Santa Fe. Typhon himself is a Magistos of the Silver Ladder, and a pretty powerful mage. Definitely at least equal to your caliber, yours and Jericho's caliber.
And Typhos is his name?
Typhon.
Typhon.
I did words and signs on the group for
Okay.
potency 7. But because it's one of my praxis, I got an exceptional success. Huzzah.
Nice.
So potency 8.
All right.
For a year.
So you
On
did it
Jonathan, too?
on everybody?
5 subjects, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. Perfect. All right. So as you do that, the like dishes and silverware rattle a little bit. As they
Yeah.
become slightly magnetic.
Yeah. I did pull the heart and the magnet out for that.
Okay. Cool. All right. So let's see.
Yep. Sweet. Oh, what was that?
It's just the way Jericho said someone's here put
Yep.
me on edge, man.
Well, yeah. I mean,
He
Jericho.
always says it like
Yeah,
that.
he said
He
that
said
a
it like
little
that when
bit.
you guys got.
So I cast acceleration on me and Amadine.
Okay, that will be an obvious effect.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. We can't just sit there at blurry speed.
No, it is definitely apparent when you have acceleration casting.
All right. Never mind.
When you just idly sit there fidgeting at 10 times speed,
Yeah.
people
Yep.
notice that.
Gotcha.
All right. So let's see. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's not bad.
Herb, you go over to the door. Do any of you guys look out the windows, or do you just wait?
I guess I'll look out the peephole.
I'm gonna
I
sit here.
had to set the table after I did that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sitting
get there.
here digesting.
You go over and look out the people as he's walking up to the front door. So you see a guy. Yeah, I mean, like you've met him before. There was a time a while ago that he tried to recruit you into his cabal. This was decades ago. But I mean, you were not interested, and that's kind of the last time you interacted with him too much. But he's a man, probably in his like late 40s, early 50s. He's got kind of a salt and pepper look. He's wearing like a like a light jacket. Very nice clothing, but not like overly formal, just like business casual sort of thing. Short beard, or I guess he's got a beard where it's like kind of shaved on the sides and like longer in the on the chin.
Okay.
A little bit of a silver fox sort of look. And as he kind of like walks up the driveway, he looks at the door and sort of smiles, as if he knows that you can see him.
I'll open the door.
All right, he says, good evening, Herb.
And you, Typhon? What brings you to my neck of the woods?
Oh, I was just, a little bird told me that there was some interesting guests that you had. I thought I would pay a visit.
I hope you're hungry.
Oh, well, certainly. I wouldn't turn down some fine home cooking.
Right, I'll welcome him in, set a place at the table, and start loading up the plate with a bunch of everything.
So he kind of steps in and observes the collective people here. Are you guys Jericho at this point like when this happened, he stood up from his seat and is like standing behind his chair, and he looks fairly tense when Typhon comes in.
Sam will have not gotten up from his chair, but he's going to be wizard eyeing this guy.
Okay. So you see him kind of like he steps in and like surveys the group of you. Amadine, from looking at him with Prime Sight, he has a couple of spells active on himself.
Yep.
And you see him kind of like look around at each of you and just like kind of study you a little bit. The small smile kind of like playing at the edge of his lips.
Goodness. In particular, what's his highest arcana?
You're gonna do
Yeah, because I got like that for a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Go for it. Highest arcana. Let's see.
Also, I'm gonna drop the Forge Purpose on that one guy that we helped.
Sure. It is a one of his highest arcana is mine.
Okay.
So you know that he has multiple arcana mastered.
I see.
How many things do you get?
I get one question per round, so that's
Okay.
it.
Sure. Just continue to ask me as the conversation progresses.
Okay.
He says, a veritable feast you've prepared for everyone here, Herb. And
I'm quite the cook.
Jericho, nice to see you in good health. And Jericho says, I wish I could say the same. Well, no, actually, I don't wish that.
Perfect.
Typhon kind of nods and smiles. course, of course. And I don't believe we have the pleasure of meeting. I heard there was some new mages in town. Your names?
A nod and Gray.
Right.
Amadine.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Typhon, Magistos of the Silver Ladder and Cabal leader of the Sanguine Fellowship. We are a somewhat notable cabal in the city of Santa Fe. I'm sure that you'll be hearing from me in the future if you planning to stay.
Mm-hmm. Have we heard of this guy from our timeline at all?
Nope.
All right. Neat.
Can I have sat him like across from Jericho, because I know Jericho wants to have eyes on him at all times,
Yeah.
probably. And like, but also not next to Jonathan. Maybe like in between Gray and Amador.
Normal dice over there.
Oh, you can just put him down in between the two of them.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Right where we want him.
So yeah, as you guys are talking, Irv kind of like guides him over there, and he complies to your guidance. You're probably stronger, so.
Definitely more dexterous.
Well, yes. So yeah, he kind of sits down and says, "Oh well, a pleasure to meet you. Where are you from?"
Well,
Originally New York, London. From New York, moved to London, back to New York. Now I'm here.
Those are big cities. New York. It's been rather active in the last decade or so.
Has it?
I'm sure you know about that. All about that, yes. The battles that have been raged there.
Try to keep my head down, and that's why I'm in Santa Fe. A lot of personal reasons got me out of the cities.
And what about you, Em?
Damn. Let's see here. He's got me there.
See? Aliases, criminal, it helps.
Let's see here. See, part of this is part of this is also I've never thought about Amadine's backstory further back than a handful of years. Let's see.
Oh, this one, I met him. I could go into some shit if you want. Make up some shit on the
I
spot.
hesitate, and yeah, if you want to take that as a cue to start talking, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, met this one in London. I was on he's on some sort of scholarly expedition overseas, trying to break some quantum fusion something. I don't know. It's above my brain power.
Yes, residency at CERN.
Yeah. I told him come back to the States, and I could definitely help him. I knew some people, but by the time I got back, fuck shit. Oh, sorry, kid.
Indeed. And who is this? And he kind of turns and looks at Jonathan.
That's Jonathan.
Jonathan. I seem to recall you had a Jonathan
Yeah.
family.
So tell me, do you like the spice lamb meatballs?
He takes a bit and says, "Oh yes, delicious. Very good."
Can I insight check him?
Yeah.
What would
That would be Probably, let's see, wits, well, manipulation and composure, we'll say.
Okay, well, at least I have good composure. Oh, dang. 5 successes. Does he like the spiced lamb?
Yeah, he does genuinely like the spiced lamb meatballs.
Do I get a willpower for that?
Yeah. Freaking 5 successes. Yeah, he genuinely enjoys the food, and he generally seems to be intent on eating what you give to him.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'll just make sure that he has, a lot, and that his protein drink never runs out.
So he says, Herb, I seem to recall a few months back there was a story that came to light in the local news about the tragic death of a young boy. And given that I believe you have been absent for several months, your grandson here with such a curious aura about him, well, it's...
He's
understand
definitely a
why
special
I am
boy.
interested. A special boy indeed. I assume that Jericho had some hand in this.
What's Jericho doing?
Specialness. Jericho is just friggin' staring at him. And scowling. And Jericho says, "That is none of your business. And this is none of your business, inviting yourself in for tipping." And Typhon smiles and says, "Herb invited me in for the food."
A bunch of guys.
And which I do appreciate very much, by the way, Herb. I know that we don't talk very much. You have your own path, and I respect that. It is good for us community members to keep in touch every once in a while, is it not? Especially when there are so few of us compared to
Every
the
once
greater
in a while.
population.
So do you have an agenda for being here?
I was
Besides
just
meeting
curious.
people?
In all genuineness, I was interested in meeting the newcomers, and curious about what you've been up to. I think I have a pretty good idea.
Are there? I mean, we have, as you can see, we have an enormous feast. If there's anyone else here, please invite them in. Let them all meet us.
I came alone.
Okay. Back in time.
Okay, where are you going back in time?
Just before, I don't know, 15 minutes before he comes in?
Okay.
Or before Jericho says someone's here?
Okay, so just before that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So before you do that,
Yep.
there's since there was a little bit of conversation, Amadine, do you want to ask another question?
Yeah, I was gonna go for what is his other next highest arcana.
Space.
Okay. Yeah, and then also a comment: if you go back in time before he said someone's here, then the wards and signs won't be here.
But I'm letting everyone know that he's coming in, and maybe we should hide the kid, and then you can still do wards and signs again.
But I guess we can't stop you, so if that's
Well,
what
I'm
you're
just
doing.
wondering, what was the wards and signs? Is it like special?
Well, no, it was just pretty good.
Oh, it was a high roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then. I'm okay, because I'm mostly wondering, how long did we have Because I basically wanted enough time to hide the kid mostly.
I mean, it was like, I don't know, a minute.
Because he could sense his aura, it seems too. So I don't even know if it would matter.
Hindsight allows you to detect the presence of like sentient, like minds, basically.
Okay.
And then at various other like mind-based observations.
Okay.
I feel like from what you know of like Magistos powers, it's likely that he knew of the presence of Jonathan before, or like as he was pulling up, pretty much.
Okay. So I'd have to go back pretty far for that.
Yeah, you'd have to go up. You go back before he arrived, pretty much.
Okay. Well, I can do that if I want. So I'll go to. Or can I, being timey, just be like in the middle of it, just wave it off, like cast it, but then go nowhere?
Cast it, but go nowhere.
Yeah, I'd be like, I changed my mind.
I mean, yeah, like you don't have to cast it if you don't want to, yeah.
Okay, I just wasn't like, I didn't want to meta it. Like, I'll cast it, but then in the midst of casting it, be like, no,
Well,
I
say,
rethought
like,
this.
you prepare the Imago in your mind and then just like decide against it. You haven't rolled yet, so it hasn't been officially done yet.
Cool.
You do see Typhon kind of glance over at you as you did that.
Okay.
I mean, he's definitely got mage sight up.
That's fine, yeah.
Also, Amidine, as Gray does that, you see Typhon goes to cast another spell discreetly.
Typhon casted a spell?
Yes, he is casting a spell, in the process of casting a spell. Assuming that you don't stop him.
No.
Yeah.
Or you don't attempt to counter spell or do anything like that.
I will
Cast a spell, I guess.
Okay.
I just want to do the one where Imagos are visible.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, which one's that?
No sneakery.
Yeah, display of power.
Can I tell that they're casting or no?
Let's see.
I can't. I didn't put up mage sight.
Yeah, if you have mage sight up, you can generally detect the presence of awakened.
I mean, I probably would have.
I'm very don't care because Mike forgets a lot. Like I
mean-
forget, so my character just doesn't give a shit. Is what I do.
This guy that Jericho clearly does not like is around Jonathan, so yeah, I'd have to.
All right, so
It's rude to cast at the dinner table.
yeah, sorry, that's why I stopped.
Of course, I figured it only fair if we're casting things, I get one in as well. Nothing harmful. I'm merely curious to get a little more information. I guess.
You're not intruding in anyone's minds, are you?
Certainly not. I would never think to do such a thing after being invited in and treated with such hospitality.
In all honesty, mine was going to be to ask a few questions of my own about who you were and what your true intentions here were. But that's...
So we can play something of a game. Ask me a question, and I'll ask you a question.
Oh, fun.
And we answer them truthfully.
Well, I guess I better get the cheesecake.
You know
And
what?
he kind
Fine.
of looks over and says, I don't imagine that you will participate, Jericho? And Jericho's like, I don't need to even dignify that question with a response. The only reason I haven't left yet is because Herb is still here.
Right. So, anyways, yeah, I cast the. Oh, hold on. There's paradox for this, actually. Quite a lot of paradox, actually. I don't like it.
Time to spend
What
some
are you
math.
casting?
Just the imagos are visible.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then I do the 2 reaches for that any attempt to counterspell is easy peasy.
Okay.
So here, gosh, I gotta spend 2 more mana to get it down just 2 paradox dice.
Okay, 2 paradox dice. I have to roll this. Yeah. Okay. Ooh,
Excuse me.
3 paradox successes.
What?
I rolled 2 10s.
Yeah. All right. So I gotta roll wisdom and then get 3 successes.
Yep.
Shit.
Land and tokens.
Is Jonathan still eating, or is he
Yep.
like mostly done?
Well,
He's still
shit.
eating.
I only got 2 successes.
He's a growing boy.
That's true.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I should move him to the living room.
Things seem like they might be getting a little bit more than he should be dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll kind of like go over and pat him on
Okay.
the shoulder. And
So,
like,
Amadine, you suffer 2 points of bashing damage as you partially contain the paradox, and now your casting roll is going to be at -1 dice because you have 1 more paradox success left over,
I see.
and you are going to gain a abyssal condition.
Fantastic. So I gotta re-roll the casting that spell.
Yeah.
And 1 less
less
dice.
dice. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I got the same number of successes as I did last time, so good old consistent Amadine. Yeah. Anyway, so I get the full condition.
All
So
right.
I get it's being blasé about magic.
Okay, so a little bit of abyssal power seeps into your spell and bleeds into your nimbus. So you get abyssal imago.
It's the first time I've ever let paradox through. I think.
You usually tend to be pretty conservative. So.
Yeah.
I always had like 3 of them when I was chance,
Okay.
like at all times.
I know.
Abyssal imago. So you have to spend 1 additional reach every time you cast a spell.
All right. Well, good thing I don't plan on casting anymore.
And
today.
the condition is resolved when you successfully cast a spell that does not risk paradox,
Right.
or scours the condition from a pattern, or allowed lapse.
All right. Anyways.
All right. So you do successfully cast the spell, though, right?
Yeah, I got 3
Okay. All right. So as you do that, you see some like kind of there's like a plume of light that extends from like your palm across the table.
Yep.
As the words of power reverberates through the space.
Yep. The scale is a large house we're building.
Okay. And Typhon kind of looks over at you and says, yes, an excellent idea to keep everyone honest. And,
Okay, Jonathan, let's move you into the living room. I know they don't normally let you eat on the couch, but you can watch MMA.
The Typhon kind of hesitates and like smiles. Of course. I don't think that your grandson would be interested in all of this adult talk anyways. Interesting, though. Was he always a sleepwalker? No,
No.
it was not. But it seems that as though he is at this point.
I know, right?
Cool.
I mean, we weren't doing any overt magic yet, so.
I'd prefer if we don't discuss Jonathan right now.
Fair enough. Now, who is interested in participating in this little question?
Oh, why not?
Steeples his fingers.
There's really only so much you can know about me anyway.
I'll look at Jericho and I'll like point to myself and like raise an eyebrow. Does
Jericho kind of
Imagine
frowns
you
and shakes his head slightly.
he? Okay. Okay. I won't. I'll just host. I'll make sure your plates are full and your drinks are full.
Oh, very generous of you. Much appreciated. He is eating like he's eating very like properly and cleanly, but he's eating like a pretty decent amount during this conversation.
I
Brain power.
appreciate that. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Is Amadine going to participate?
Sure, what the hell.
Very well. Have a little spell which I'm sure that you have as well, Amadine, based off of your previous performance.
Foil lands, except for that treasure.
And he begins forming a imago. He kind of like raises his hand, and as he does this, like sort of white fire sort of spirals out from his fingers and like drifts around to like kind of each of you three. And like as you breathe, there's like faint ethereal flames that turn into like words and symbols as they come out. Is the representation of words of truth. Spell.
So if we don't speak the truth, so if we speak the truth, everyone knows that what we just said is true. If we
Yeah.
don't, everyone knows that what we just said is not quite true. Yeah.
And Typhon says, I have come into your house, so I will, of course, do the two of you the honor of asking me questions first. One question from the both of you, and one from Gordon.
Fair enough.
Okay, so before we get into this, Meta, who is this guy?
Well, I think that's going to be one of our first questions.
So, all that you know, his name is Typhon.
Yep, Typhon, and he's Silver Ladder
he-
leader.
Yeah, he's a Magistos of the Silver Ladder and a Cabal leader of the Sanguine Fellowship,
Okay,
as he said when he introduced himself.
okay.
That is all that you know.
God, I wish we knew more going into this. Because, I mean, technically, he doesn't know shit about us either. But we could know stuff about him. He could be known. We can't. We are unknown. So we could technically have a huge leg up in this conversation. But we don't.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a bad roll.
That's awesome.
Also, even if you did have a good roll, you didn't have that much time to communicate that information to them.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Yep, I believe I'm ready.
All right, so he said what? We're asking first?
Yep. Ask a question. Any question. I will
Yeah.
answer.
Sorry, was
it.
it one question for our team or one question each?
One question for your team
Okay, yes.
to make it fair.
Yep.
He says we will continue asking questions until one of us chooses not to answer or wishes not to answer.
Well,
So I guess me and Gray will confer a little bit.
Yeah,
Right, so
Certainly, more time for you to enjoy this delicious cook.
indeed.
Right, so who's this guy? This guy's a Cabal leader of the Sanguine Arrow.
Yep. Came in here, big dick swinging.
I assume you weren't too quiet when he said that.
No.
All right.
Like we all don't have enormous members right here.
All right.
Jonathan's out of earshot, right?
Yep.
Jonathan's in the other room.
Okay.
God. Yeah, see, I agreed to participate in this thing, but I'm not actually that curious about it.
I know. It's more so I want to know what his intentions are and how powerful his cabal is, kind of thing. Like, okay, he's here figuring out information. What the fuck can he do about it? You know.
Well, he's as good as we are as ours at mind and space. So.
Yep. So basically, what are his intentions coming here, other than what he stated? Because it's just, oh, meet the newcomers and blah blah blah. Yeah.
So
but,
what are you gonna say then for your question?
I guess what are your true intentions for coming here?
My true intentions. Well, I can say with all sincerity that I did come here to learn more about who you are and meet you.
Is that all though? I mean, because like you said something about the kid, like.
Oh, I also came to learn about that. Yes, I was interested. Technically, a little more than one question, but it's the first.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm sure you have the learning curve on this little inquisitive game. Most of the time, I figure out what I need and don't care. So.
My question to you is, was your statement previously about where you're from truly where you're from? Or are you from someplace else?
Now, Ben, how can I answer that? Like, can I say yes? Because I am from New York and London. However, the thing about Amadine was false.
Yeah, that is true. What you said about yourself is technically the truth.
Yep.
Amadine thing, you did make that up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll say that and be like, what you said about you was true, and then I'll say,
Yep. So yeah, I spoke the truth of myself.
yep. Though I was not born here, I have lived in Santa Fe almost all my life.
Interesting.
Well, Los Alamos, technically.
Yeah, there's probably like a little bit of like asterisk in the words. Oh yeah, technically. Sorry, technically.
In the Santa Fe area. Yeah, so he says, interesting. Your turn.
Alright, let's see here.
Do we focus on us or the kid? Because it seems like if he knew about the kid, that he like what are they going to do about it? Is it a blasphemous thing? Are they going to try and undo it?
Goals.
Just not really a blasphemous thing, I don't think.
And what?
Sorry, just like a little bit of meta. It's like I don't really think what we did was all that blasphemous.
Okay.
Just kind of doing our own stuff,
Okay.
harming no one.
Okay. So then, kind of maybe more focus on us, or you know.
I kind of this might be more public knowledge, but like,
Oh, Orcus. This isn't God. This is the God of Orcus.
Your I'm trying to figure out how I want to ask this, but it's kind of like
Man.
his cabal, the like him and his cabal, the Sanguine Fellowship. Are they in
Yeah, cool. Got
like
good cards.
a high standing among the Pentacle here, or like trying to? I guess what I'm trying to ask is like what kind of like
Influence, standing.
yeah, what kind of influence they have around here? Are they like everyone knows who they are and like people get out of your way, or like what?
Yeah. So you seem to you came here to gather information about the newcomers and the child. What sort of influence do you have in this matter, or or your cabal?
Well, the Sanguine Fellowship is the largest cabal in the city of Santa Fe, and I myself am not a titled, but I would consider a upstanding member of the Silver Ladder.
So, not. Oh, go ahead.
In terms of influence, I mean, Santa Fe isn't technically fully part of the Albuquerque Concilium, as I'm sure you know. There are many nameless mages here, but we follow the Concilium's rules. We are friendly with everybody here.
Does that check out? The friendly with everybody?
Yeah.
As far as those words of truth kind of thing? That's
For his definition of friendly, he believes it to be true.
Yeah. There it is. Yep.
You can be friendly and still be someone's enemy.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. This guy's got antagonist written all over him.
You
Yeah.
can be friendly and still stab someone in the throat.
You can.
As long as you are like, oh, sorry about that, gent.
Yeah. All's fair in, killing you.
Yep.
Just cutting right to the chase.
The classic phrase.
Now, my question to you. Since you have lived in the city of Santa Fe for most of your life, how come I don't know you or have never met you? I know pretty much every mage around.
Sure. Well, let's see.
Oh, well, let me quickly decide what I want to tell you about that.
Gonna say, let's see here. Well, in truth,
I mean,
me and my friend here have only been mages for counts on fingers. A handful of months.
God, that is so awesome.
Ah, very interesting. New to the scene.
It is quite fascinating. All of it.
I imagine it is. But of course, it is your turn to ask. I will not break the pattern.
Alright.
Let's see.
What else do I even want to know about this guy?
I don't know. There's not much more that just couldn't be handled by just talking around to people.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Could just ask for his real name.
Yeah, and then he'll be like, no thanks.
And then that's the end of the game.
Yeah,
game
that
over.
would be pretty bad mannered of you.
I
Yeah.
know.
But you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Unsporting. All right, well, let's see. What else do you want to know?